The new GoPro Hero 6 Black is the best action cam ever. But if we're being honest, we can kind of expect that at this point, right? I mean, it's kind of like this iPhone 8 Plus right here. If it isn't the best iPhone that they've made yet, wouldn't they just throw it in a bin where it belongs and keep selling 7 Pluses? So the question is, just how much better is the Hero 6 Black compared to last year's Hero 5 Black? And at this price for something that is just a camera, how much better is it than this? And is it also better than our sponsor Zotac product, the Magnus EN1070, a compact high-performance gaming machine? Well, if you're looking for a camera, maybe, but if you're looking for a high-performance gaming machine, probably not. Check it out at the link below. So the Hero 6 Black has nearly the exact same body as the Hero 5, meaning that it is waterproof without an external enclosure. It works with the same accessories, including the Karma grip and drone, and it has the same 1220 mAh batteries and USB Type-C charging port. GoPro's companion app remains an option for remote control and monitoring, but like with the Hero 5, you don't have to use it anymore because the integrated 51mm touchscreen makes it super easy to adjust settings like shutter speed, white balance, ISO, and beep volume, and to review your footage in the field, as long as you aren't underwater at the time. With that said, once you've dialed in your favorite settings, I think you'll probably give most of your commands to the Hero 6 Black by voice. And I know, it's everybody's favorite gimmick right now, along with AI. But think about it, it actually makes way more sense here than it does on most devices. If your camera is mounted to your head and your hands are full of, sports balls and athletic peripherals, you have no easy way of knowing whether the camera is recording or even what mode it's in. But that doesn't matter with voice commands because it will actually change from photo mode to video when I say, GoPro, start recording. So yeah, I know, voice operation was introduced on the Hero 5 Black, but it's also been expanded here in a couple of meaningful ways, including the ability to turn the camera off and up to 8 hours later, back on, which is theoretically awesome for saving battery.
GoPro, turn on. GoPro, turn on.
As long as you can get it to work reliably. Okay then, Linus, that's great. How about something that the 5 didn't have? Sure. While it might not look new on the outside, instead of using a commercially available processor from Ambarella, like just about every other action cam on the market, under the hood of the Hero 6 Black, we find something really special. A brand new custom processor called the GP1. Cool name, by the way, you guys. I wonder what that stands for. So this new chip has double the processing power, boosting nearly all of the camera's capabilities, allowing it to record at higher bit rates, capture higher dynamic range videos, and even HDR stills, and perform electronic image stabilization along more axes. But most of that stuff doesn't actually even make it to the bold print on the front of the box. There, the focus is on the frame rate. 4K video at 60 frames per second, up from 30 last gen, and 1080p video at 240 frames per second for some wicked slow-mo, up from 120 on the last gen. Videos recorded at these high frame rates used the new H.265 HEVC codec, while the rest used garden variety H.264. It also has a new recording format called 4K 4x3, or about 4,000 by 3,000 pixels, and it can do this at up to 30 frames per second. This mostly adds vertical space to the recording, and the purpose is to help the editor ensure that the action isn't getting cut off at the top or bottom of the frame if the camera gets accidentally misaligned while you're running around out there. On the subject of framing, you can also zoom now, sort of. Hero 6 Black has a linear slider now for digital zoom, though you cannot adjust it while you're recording, so I would think of this as more like an infinite number of field of view options and indeed the old narrow and medium field of view modes are no longer with us. Finally, the new photo burst mode called Auto takes up to 30 photos per second, but can actually take fewer if it thinks that each shot requires more exposure time. Which all sounds nice, but bearing in mind that the Hero 5 Black was only $400 when it launched just a year ago, is this refresh really worth the $500 price tag? I mean, we are getting close to flagship smartphone territory. And come to think of it, on top of everything else it does, the iPhone 8 can take 4K video at 60 FPS too. I mean, is there any point buying this thing at all? Side by side, you can see that video quality between the two is actually pretty comparable, though keep in mind that it is not exactly an apples to apples comparison, given that the Hero is wide angle and the iPhone 8 Plus has a more conventional lens and a telephoto lens on its two discrete sensors. The Hero 6 also lacks image stabilization at 4K 60, while the iPhone 8 has optical image stabilization all the time. With that said, when shooting at 4K 30, where the Hero 6 Black's electronic image stabilization actually works, it does work really well. Now obviously though, these cameras are very different. GoPro products are rugged and have an ecosystem of accessories that have given them their reputation as the primo action camera brand. And even if you go out and get a gimbal for your iPhone or you tape it to your forehead like I did last week, you're still not going to get the immersive first-person experience that GoPro's wide-angle lens delivers. So does the fact then that the Hero 6 Black is arguably the best action cam ever made mean that you should run out and buy it? Well, if it were $249, then I would say, hell yeah, man. But, and this actually seems intentional, GoPro has priced it out of the range of, your casual music festival attendee and closer to the prosumer threshold, where the target buyer for this probably makes some money, maybe even to attract sponsors for their downhill racing or motocross or whatever with epic action cam footage. This strategy shift will probably result in fewer units sold, but let's face it, that was happening anyway. And at least this way, GoPro can make up for it with higher margins from the people who can more easily justify the higher price tag. Speaking of higher price tags, don't you hate it when you go to the grocery store to save money by making your own food and you end up buying stuff that you never end up using and it goes to waste, and then you're like, wow, that was really pointless and it makes me feel bad. Well, Blue Apron allows you to create delicious, chef-designed recipes at home. They deliver all the farm fresh ingredients you need right to your doorstep, and they do it in exactly the right proportions. No trip to the grocery store, no waste from unused ingredients. Blue Apron recipes are delivered in a refrigerated box so the ingredients will stay fresh even if you're not at home when your package arrives. And their whole vision is to develop a more sustainable food system through sustainable fishing, responsible farming, and by reducing food waste. So they offer two types of plans, the 2-person plan and the family plan. There's no commitment. You can skip or cancel the service at any time, with each menu being between 500 to 800 calories per person. You can prepare meals in 40 minutes or less, and they're adding new dishes to their menu every week. So go check it out at the link below. The first 100 people will get $30 off their first Blue Apron order using our link. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disliked this video, hit that button. But if you liked it, hit like, get subscribed, maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured. Where'd it go? Buy the stuff we featured at the link in the video description, and also while you're down there, you can check out our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one, as well as our community forum, which you should totally join.